What if I told you that some of the world's most famous mythical creatures weren't completely made up? That's right. Many legendary beasts that filled ancient stories were inspired by real animals that our ancestors encountered but didn't fully understand. Today, we're diving into 7 mythical creatures that had surprising real-world origins. From the depths of the ocean to remote mountain ranges, these fascinating animals confused, terrified, and amazed our ancestors enough to spawn legends that have lasted thousands of years. Creature number 1. Unicorns. Unicorns, majestic horses with a single spiraling horn. These magical creatures appear in artwork and stories across numerous cultures for thousands of years. But what was the real animal behind this persistent myth? Many historians now believe that unicorn legends were inspired by encounters with the rhinoceros, particularly the Indian rhinoceros with its single horn. When Marco Polo first saw a rhinoceros in the 13th century, he immediately identified it as a unicorn, though he was disappointed by how unglamorous the real animal was compared to the legends. Another fascinating theory points to the narwhal, a marine mammal with an extraordinary spiral tusk that was often traded as unicorn horn in medieval Europe. These rare tusks sold for more than their weight in gold due to their supposed magical properties. Creature number 2, Cyclops, the one-eyed giants from Greek mythology, particularly famous from Homer's Odyssey where they terrorized Odysseus and his crew. In 1914, paleontologist Othenio Abel proposed a fascinating theory about the Cyclops myth. On Mediterranean islands like Sicily and Crete, ancient Greeks discovered massive elephant skulls, specifically from extinct dwarf elephants. The large central nasal cavity in these skulls could easily be mistaken for a single giant eye socket. Imagine finding this if you'd never seen an elephant before. These dwarf elephants stood only about 3 feet tall, but their skulls were proportionally much larger than their bodies, leading to the impression of giants with one central eye. Creature number 3, dragons. Dragons appear in cultures worldwide, from European fire breathers to Chinese luck bringers. But what real animals could have inspired these legendary reptiles? The most compelling explanation? Dinosaur fossils. Ancient people discovering massive bones and reconstructing what these creatures might have looked like had no concept of extinction or prehistory. Chinese dragon myths may have been influenced by discoveries of dinosaur fossils, which are abundant in China. In fact, villagers in central China have been digging up dragon bones for centuries for traditional medicine. Bones we now know belong to dinosaurs. Another contributor to dragon legends, living reptiles like the Komodo dragon, crocodiles, and large snakes. Combine these with fossil discoveries and a dash of human imagination, and you've got the perfect recipe for a global dragon mythology. Creature number 4, mermaids. Half-human, half-fish creatures that have captivated sailors and storytellers for centuries. While we'd love mermaids to be real, the creature most likely behind these myths is the manatee or dugong. These marine mammals surface to breathe in a distinctly human-like manner, and females nurse their young at the surface, holding them with flipper-like arms. In 1493, Christopher Columbus reported seeing 3 mermaids near the Dominican Republic, writing that they rose high out of the water but were not as beautiful as depicted. He was almost certainly describing manatees. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could anyone mistake a manatee for a beautiful mermaid? Well, remember that sailors of old spent months at sea without seeing women. And when you combine that with poor visibility, distance, and a lot of wishful thinking, suddenly the connection makes more sense. Creature number 5, griffins. The griffin, half eagle, half lion, appears in artwork from ancient Egypt, Persia, Greece, and beyond. The likely origin? Protoceratops fossils found along ancient trade routes in the Gobi Desert.